Really?
You texted me what you were wearing. I assumed you wanted me to match.
Never assume, Rich. It makes an ass out of you. And are we ready to do this thing?
All right, let's do this, shall we? Let's start this panel. How excited are we, Hall H? Oh, man.
When, you know, when we got started, it was Cubicle H. That's how long it's been.
Jared couldn't even fit in the room.
That's right. Guys, we're so honored to have been a part of this show and to be here with you guys all these years. We're going to bring out a great group of people.
That we have to bring out because they're on the list.
That's right, because we're contractually obligated.
Start us off, Robo.
Yeah, so first to the stage is a writer who has been writing for the show for the last 6 seasons, and he just got upgraded to executive producer. And fun fact, he's one of 3 Roberts on the stage today. Executive producer, Bob Bobo Barron!
There he is. Bobo. Next to the stage, this seasoned writing duo has given us countless beloved characters and dynamic moments on screen for years. They are none other than executive producers Brad Buckner and Eugenie Ross Leming.
Our next guest's very first job in TV was writing for Supernatural. After 8 seasons in the trenches, he ascended to the coveted position of showrunner. Armed with genius talent and deep respect for the characters and stories, he has beautifully shouldered the show's vision for the past 3 seasons, and now leads us bravely forward into the show's final chapter. Executive producer and co-showrunner, Andrew Dabb.
There he is. It all rests on his shoulders. No pressure. Next to the stage, truly a lion of the industry. He has produced and directed hundreds of episodes of television, most notably the show we're all here to celebrate. Ever since the pilot got picked up by the network formerly known as the WB, he's been there, crafting the stories both in the writer's room and behind the lens. If you love this show, you have this man to thank. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Singer. Co-showrunner, executive producer, and director extraordinaire.
And the Robert trifecta is complete. You know, I co-wrote that speech, Bob. I get nothing? Yeah, kiss from Bob.
I know. I can die now.
In the short time this actor has been on the show, he's endeared himself to fans and veteran actors alike. Dry wit, raw talent abound. A welcome member of the Supernatural family and the sole representative of Canada on the stage today, Alexander Calvert. Big Al Calvert.
The next guy we're bringing out is truly one of a kind. He is a man who took a guest starring role and turned it into a core, iconic, and fan favorite character. In addition, he has also harnessed the power of his popularity to build one of the most successful philanthropic enterprises in entertainment. There is no more charitable man in Hollywood. The people he has helped and the lives he has touched will live on long after Castiel hangs up his trench coat for the final time. The one, the only, Misha Collins.
In its storied history, television has generated a rare few epic brother duos. Bo and Luke Duke. Jamie and Tyrion Lannister.
Those 2 dudes from Suits.
Were they brothers?
I don't know. The point is, epic brother duos.
Indeed. And no such duo is more epic than Sam and Dean Winchester.
And there would be no Sam and Dean without these next two gentlemen. And let's be honest, in fact, there would be no show.
Their chemistry both on and off screen has been the lifeblood of the show's success.
They also happen to be two of the most professional and kind guys we've ever had the pleasure of knowing. They are loyal to each other, gracious to their crew, devoted to their families, their friends, and their fans.
In short, class acts. Ladies and gentlemen,
Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki!
Well, good night, everybody. All right, let's get into some questions. What do you say? So first, we'd like to ask Jared and Jensen, just where your head's at. You grew up with the show, and now it comes to an end. How you feeling about it all?
That's so mean to start with this. I'm trying not to cry.
That's our goal. Just be mean.
Can we all just start crying and so I don't feel so weird?
Yes.
I mean, Jensen was talking about how much he'd love to answer the question first. So.
I will say, well, first, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here with us and making this really a special final time here as a Supernatural panel. I'm really nervous right now. And how many times have we done this? A lot. And I don't think I've ever been nervous, and now I'm nervous, and I don't know why. But it feels good to feel something.
Do it again? Okay.
I'm not going to miss that.
It quickly devolved from an emotional, heartfelt comment on the end of this series to a striptease in true Supernatural fashion.
Jared clearly has a future as a toupee model. I think he's nailing that.
That's right.
But there's a lot of weight behind this. I mean, you guys you basically grew up as actors and as people on this show. Your lives are inexorably linked to each other and to the crew you've worked with. As it comes to this epic chapter, when you reflect back on it, what's your takeaway from the experience overall?
I mean, that is the most grand question of all time.
Pretty much.
How's your life been,
After
guys?
becoming a father and a parent and an actor, what is the meaning of life? Jared and Jensen?
Well, my follow-up question is, what's your favorite color? So
Blue. Go blue. In all honesty, I feel Jensen?
It really is hard to express the takeaway from the experience. 15 years is a lot. Well, we'll say 14 and change. It's a long time. This guy was just in his early 20s.
I was just born.
You were just born. And we hooked it up to Vancouver, thinking that we'd just put our lives on hold, just press pause for maybe a season, maybe two. We knew we had something good. We might have even gotten something like 3 seasons out of it.
That's asking too much.
And that we would then, come back and press play, and life would go on, and it never got unpaused, and I'm very thankful that it didn't, because it's been quite a ride, and it's hard to express what we're going to take away from that, but lifelong friends, experiences of a lifetime. And I mean, this is,
Sir.
it's hard to put in.
Thank you all so much.
You did it. You did it. Misha, your journey has been a little bit different. You started as a guest star in the show and then worked your way up to being such an integral part of it. What are your feelings about it coming to an end and your journey?
You know, when I got on the show, I just recently found a gold card. It's these 3x5 note cards that I write around New Year's. It's really nerdy, but it's like, here are my goals for the year. And the year before I got on Supernatural, I had written this goal of I'm a regular on a show that is creatively fulfilling, and I become lifelong friends with my castmates. And I have found this show to be, I mean, I just came across that and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that I wrote that, and I can't believe that this has come to pass. I consider these guys lifelong friends, and you guys lifelong friends, and I know that none of you like me, but...
Semantics. That's semantics.
But I could never have dreamed that along with that would come this incredible fandom and this kind of iconic legacy of a show. And it feels like a great honor to have been a part of it, and I look forward to, you know, writing a new gold card. And you guys are going to be on it for sure.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Do you have plans for the immediate future? Everything?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I just finished writing a cookbook with my wife, and that's, you can buy that on Amazon now. It's the Adventurous Eaters Club, and I'm hoping to develop six-pack abs as well.
Lofty goals. Lofty goals.
So having seen you, really quickly, Misha, having seen you shirtless, don't go there. You want to lose 2 of your ab muscles for some reason?
Alex, Big Al.
I've seen the manips. I've seen the photo manips. A few of them. You're usually pretty ripped in those chains and stuff.
Al, Big Al Cal.
Yeah, let's follow up on the nipple question.
Yeah.
That's great, thank
We have it on our notes here. After nipple, go to Al.
If Jeremy goes to nipple, immediately go to Alex.
you. Thanks, guys.
So, what about you, buddy? You got any plans? What about what about Jack's journey at the end of?
Good save,
Yeah.
everybody.
At the end of last season, the guy who played God was not very nice to you.
Yeah, I've heard some not so great things about both the character and the person.
Well,
so.
that's not fair. That's not fair to say, Al. Where do you see Jack going this year?
Can I confirm that Jack is back in some capacity? Anyone can chime in here. Yeah, Jack had a real, not so great end to the season, but yeah, I don't know. For me, I think Jack's journey and mine on this, my small part on this show has just been truly incredible. So I'm just excited for all these people and for you guys as well, just to really see this journey come to an end.
Yeah. Well, we love having you on the show. It's been a great addition to the cast.
Bob, Mr. Singer. Oh, I'm sorry. One of the 3 Bobs. Bob number 1, we'll call you. You've been around, minus the pilot, for the whole run of the show. You also have a long and history journey through the annals of television with your career. This is a rare breed, a show that lasts this long, that has maintained its original cast. So much of its crew is still the original crew. It's hard to do, I would imagine, but how do you explain this lightning in a bottle phenomenon? Like, this never happens. What made you unique in this scenario?
Well, first of all, I want to say that what I'm worried about mostly is that this time next year you guys will be looking for a gig. So.
And we have your number.
Okay. Well, I think I think you start with Jaren Jensen. You know, when you cast these shows, you don't know. You know, is there going to be? You know, you could have two great actors who have no magic in a bottle in them. These guys, right from the jump, you just believe them. They're close personally. They're closest characters, and you know, over the course of 14 seasons, you're going to have some scripts that are less good than others, but they always give their level solid best, and they carry us through on the ones that maybe, you know, not as good as The French Mistake. I think the other thing was, I think Eric created these two characters, and Eric and I worked together closely for the first 5 years, and I think there was a... Yeah, let's hear it for Eric. You know, so I think the foundation of what the show could be was built fairly early, and I think when Eric left us, he left us with a lot of good things. I had the pleasure of working with Sarah for a couple of years, and then Jeremy, and now Andrew. And I think they stepped into that role as good as possible. So, you know, for me, it's just been a joy. You know, you never imagine 15 years, but it seems to have gone by, you know, awfully quick, because I pretty much enjoyed every minute.
Okay, Andrew. So at the end of last season, we left our guys surrounded by what seemed like zombies, and you know, with the past, you know, Hunt's returning from hell.
We, in all fairness, we didn't leave them surrounded by zombies. You did.
Deal with it. You know, in past seasons, the endings have felt big, but this time we know it's the end. So how do we move forward?
We don't. It's 20 episodes of clip shows.
Good to know.
We cannot do the last 14, so why try? That's my opinion.
Well, good to know. Good to know. Just for myself, in terms of what I'll be doing.
No, you're wide open.
Eugenie and Brad, what about God? He's not the God of yore. He's not the nice guy that he once was. Seems pretty pissed.
Apparently a real jerk on set.
Well, but great looking.
Well, they recast him.
How do you move forward with that entity? And I'm not asking for personal reasons. Really, how do you think that will shape this season and where we go this season?
Well, I think that final moment, the very end of the season finale, was probably one of the big game-changing moments we've ever had in the show. And to be 14 seasons in on a show and be able to have that much of a game changer is something. Because there was an assumption about God. We talked about God having left the building. He was not around. He was a long-distance guy and really had hands off. And that was confirmed when Chuck appeared for the first time a couple of seasons ago. But that was really the rule, and the boys bought into that and believed it. They were willing to accept a God who was hands-off and sort of let free will take over, and humans would do what they were going to do, and he would step in as needed, maybe. But this changed everything. Suddenly we have a God who never did leave the building, really. He was standing in the shadows, manipulating, creating stories, and watching how the boys were going to respond to this. So this really messes with your entire belief system. When you believe one set of things that is bad enough to not buy into the whole thing about God is all-seeing, all-knowing, all-powerful, but had left the building, and now everything changes because you can't even accept what he told you initially was the truth. That turned out not to be the truth, that he is very actively an opponent.
You're living your life basically on quicksand. You don't know if any step you're taking is an authentic step that you're initiating yourself, or is everything an illusion or pre-planned by this kind of diabolical deity? So for all of us, it's kind of, I know it's a funny show, really. So we're sort of playing with each other as writers, trying to figure out what it really means. I think it's the last year, so we have a chance to take chances we didn't have before. We're building to something that we all have to have a consensus on, but it's an answer that can never really be final. I think it has many tentacles, and you'll be seeing them played out through the season. But basically, it's kind of exciting for us.
Great.
And a little follow-up to you, Bobo. We know that every year you build the season up to the big bad that's going to carry us through the next year. In this instance, you guys have crafted the biggest bad that can be conjured in the form of God. How do you see that playing out from a character standpoint for God this season?
Well, I think to build off what Brad and Eugenie were just talking about, what is really exciting about this Chuck reveal at the end of last season is that it really opens up the theme of free will, which is what we've been dealing with this entire time. And I think the way that this news lands on both Sam and Dean, we'll see them sort of respond very differently at different points to this news. And I think it puts everything they've done, everything they've accomplished into doubt. What was them? What was this plan? And I think the position of the show is, yes, you did save the day. Those were authentic victories, but they have to struggle with that and sort of reclaim, you know, the victories of their past and say, no, this was us. We do have free will. And it's just that dynamic is going to play out really interestingly throughout the whole season.
Awesome. Andrew, to you as the co-showrunner along with Bob, you know, you've been handed this assignment of taking a legendary show that everybody loves and has followed for 15 years and sending it off into the night in the best way you know how. You've come up the ranks with the show. Like, you started as a baby writer, and now you're co-boss. How did it feel to know that this creative energy would be foisted upon you?
Well, the good news is there was no pressure.
Yes.
So that's the best news. No, I've been on the show for 12 years, and I worked with Eric and Sarah and Jeremy. And
Newbie.
Yeah. And Bob's like, no, that's okay. But, you know, the show's been a real part of my life. It's first job I've had in television, possibly last, we'll see how it goes. And so to have the honor to kind of end it along with Bob and Brad and Jeannie and Bob and everybody on the stage, minus one. It's just really, it's really exciting and scary. And I think, you know, the things we have in mind, I think, you know, I would guess about like 30% of people would be really happy. Yeah.
Aim to please a third. That's our motto.
Don't go for the majority. Just go for, like, you know.
So 7 out of 10 of everybody in this room is going to be pissed.
Yeah. That's going to be, if you thought Game of Thrones was angry, yeah,
Oh, don't act like you thought the same thing.
Awkward segue. Let's go right into this. Robert, should we take some
Yeah, I know
questions?
you guys are eager to ask some questions, so let's throw it out there.
Audience questions.
Okay, so first, this is about that Supernatural parody 2 by Hollywood. Misha, I loved you, and you did a great Janine. So this is including Richard and Rob. How did you guys come to get involved in it, and do you know if there's going to be a third parody?
The parody, the Hollywood Girls parody, how did you become involved in it this time? And you know
So the Hollywood Girls had little bits of blackmail against all of us, and they leveraged that to get us to come work on that production.
Yeah, so I guess if we're going to do a third one, it depends on if they threaten us again.
Yeah, they have been threatening me.
Oh, so Misha's doing another one. Great. Those girls are super talented. They do such funny work, and it's great homage to the show. And I think the first one was such a success that it was an easy ask to get everybody to come on board and do number 2. All right, next question.
Hi guys, love you. My question is, since this is the final season, is there anything you haven't got to do on the show that you really want to do?
It's a great question. As far as things that haven't happened to us on the show that I would like to happen, great question. Thank you. I mean, we always would kind of joke in the last 307 episodes that it would be fun but who's counting? It would be fun to go to a beach in Maui or something, or do, you know, like do laundry in our underwear in a laundromat somewhere.
Misha's not ready, unfortunately.
He has to lose 2 of his ab muscles.
Yeah.
But obviously, as we all know, who's been controlling what the boys are doing, we haven't been able to do that. So look to Rob Benedict, please. I mean, come on, man, you're writing it.
Almighty creator. All right, Maui.
You're Chuck. Maui.
Not laundromat. Not laundromat. Please don't be laundromat.
For me, there's nothing I want to do that I haven't done yet. I'm just really honored and humbled to be able to have done so much already.
Maybe take the Impala to the track. Get a little spending money for the boys.
I like that.
Win a t-shirt. I don't know. Are we not spitballing up here?
No, that's it. I like win a t-shirt.
Scribbling notes.
Wet t-shirt contest with Misha.
Maybe they go to Cabo and get trapped in a foam party. I don't know.
We're working things out.
We're just working things out. We're not there yet.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi guys, thank you so much for 15 incredible years. I've loved you guys since day one. My question is for Jared and Jensen. When all is said and done and you look back on the last 15 years, what are you most proud of the legacy that you started?
Easy, Jensen. You're gonna need more. Thank you for the question. Sorry if I seem...
You have tissues in your pocket.
Like you don't. This is a really unique feeling. We've been up here a few times. We've been really lucky. And the gang at Comic-Con has been outstanding. This is a really weird sensation. I keep on sort of going and having out-of-body experiences, wondering why there are so many people looking towards all of us on stage and going like, oh wow, like, this is a cool thing. We're not going to be here next year. So I feel like the relationships I've been able to build, met a couple of my best friends. I also met Richard Spate. But I also met people I really enjoy. I also met this girl named Genevieve. In Europe. Had some kids, got really tired, got a few gray hairs when they wouldn't stop waking up in the middle of the... For me, the legacy is going to be, he and I had talked about this, and we actually talked about this for about 2 or 3 hours last night, about the show and about how lucky we are, and we still have a job to do. But I feel like I'm really lucky because my friendships won't go away, and Sam Winchester, for me, won't go away. He'll be a part of me forever. And, you know, so...
You know, looking back, I'm just really proud of the work that this team has done for this long. To do a show is not easy. To make television is not as easy as people may think. You know, you see the 42 minutes that that we release to the masses, but to get those 42 minutes is 8 days of very intensive work. And
after it's already been written.
And yeah. After that's just the filming of it. There's pre-production. There's prep. There's the writing. There's the conceptualizing. There's a lot that goes in, and it takes a lot of very talented people to give you guys the best product we can make, and I'm really proud of that product. And after this long on a show, to still truly love what we do and be proud to hang my hat on that at the end of the day is that's what I'm gonna take with this. That's one of the legacies that I'm proud of is knowing that I put it in. I put in the effort. We all did. Everybody puts it in. Nobody phones it in here. And I'm thankful that you guys can appreciate that.
Okay, we're going to take one more question. Yes.
Hi, I just want to say thank you so much for being here today. My question is for Misha. I was wondering if there's anything that you're planning to take from the set after the show's over.
Do you work for Warner Brothers?
Security.
Yes, I have plans. I've already rented a semi-tractor trailer and built a cage in which I will put Jensen and Jared. But don't tell them.
Is it the cage you already have?
Yeah, you've been in it.
Can I request a separate cage?
All right, we lied. We said it was the last question. This is the last question.
This is the last
Thank you for being here, and thank you to you, everyone who's on stage and off stage, for what will be a total of 15 amazing years of a fantastic show. My question is for Misha. I'm interested in see if you are looking for other roles in the future in your career, besides acting, if we're going to see you acting again, if you have some thoughts that you can share with us about it.
Yes, I do hope to work again. I will say one thing about the future. I think that I hope that in the future this fandom continues to function as a family after the show is over. I hope that you guys continue to be a force for good and companionship in the world. You guys have been so supportive of one another and so supportive of us, and I think it's a family that's not going to go away just because the show goes off the air. And I think we all love you guys very much. So thank you.
Well, with that, we want to show you guys a little video. So if everybody keep their eyes on the video screen, we're going to show a little something on the screen.
The end of the road. It comes